Chapter 10. No one walks away. The gate commander crossed the bridge in a single step. Darian saw the attack begin. That did not mean his body could answer it. The creature wore his old strength, his old reach, his old understanding of battle. The sword swept toward Darian's neck with the exact movement he had used to execute enemy officers in his first life. Orlon intercepted. Their blades collided. The impact cracked the stone beneath both men. A wave of force threw Darian backward. He struck Alistair, and the two of them fell against the bridge railing. Orlon remained standing. Barely. The gate commander twisted its weapon and forced him down to one knee. "You have weakened," it said. Its voice sounded like Darian's, layered over thousands of whispers. Orlon's teeth clenched. "I grew tired of waiting for you." Golden light erupted from beneath his armor. The force threw the creature back 3 steps. Orlon rose. His sword had changed. The plain royal blade now burned with white fire. Symbols moved along its edge, appearing and disappearing too quickly for Darian to understand. The system returned in broken fragments. Hostile class identified. Oral Vey. Class: Tenfold Kingmaker. Level: 52. The number struck Darian harder than the explosion had. Orlon had passed the system's recommended level for reaching the first gate. He had not been preparing to approach it. He had been preparing to command whatever waited there. The gate commander looked at the burning sword, still borrowing strength from others. Orlon stepped forward. Strength exists to be used. For whom? For those who cannot wield it themselves. The creature laughed. "You sound like him." Its black eyes moved toward Darian. Before he learned honesty. Darian pushed himself upright. Pain spread across his ribs, but no bone seemed broken. Alistair rose beside him. "What is that thing?" "My body." "I understood that part." The gate commander attacked Orlon again. Their weapons met in a blur. Darian could follow only parts of the exchange. A thrust. A turn. A false retreat. Both fighters used techniques from Darian's first world. The gate commander fought like Darian at the height of his military career. Orlon fought like a man who had spent 16 years preparing to counter him. Every strike answered another. Every feint had already been expected. The creature stepped left. Orlon attacked the opening. The opening was a trap. A black-armored elbow struck Orlon's jaw. He staggered. The gate commander drove its sword through the white armor beneath his ribs. Royal soldiers screamed. Orlon gripped the blade instead of retreating. White fire poured from both hands. It traveled through the dark sword and into the creature. The gate commander's armor split. Black smoke erupted from the cracks. Orlon pulled himself farther onto the weapon and placed his burning blade against the creature's chest. "Now, Darian." The old instinct returned. Orlon had created an opening. Darian moved before distrust could slow him. He ran. The system flickered. Tactical assessment unavailable. Soul suppression interference active. Darian did not need it. He knew the shape of his old body, the armor's joints, the weak angle beneath the right arm, the scar tissue along the left knee from an injury suffered when he was 23. He struck the knee. His sword entered between plates of black metal. The gate commander turned. The movement ripped the weapon from Darian's hands. A backhanded strike hit him across the chest. The world spun. He landed 20 feet away. Health critical. The blue words vanished before he could read more. The creature tore Orlon's sword from its chest and threw him toward the royal lines. Soldiers scattered. Orlon struck the road hard enough to break the stones. The gate commander looked down at the blade still lodged near its knee. Darian's sword. It gripped the hilt and pulled it free. Black blood ran along the edge. "You remember this body," it said. Darian forced himself onto one elbow. "I remember where it hurts. That belongs to me now. It never belonged to you." The creature lifted the sword Darian had carried in Lucian's hands. "Neither does that." It broke the blade. The metal snapped in the middle. Darian felt something inside him react. Not grief for the weapon. Recognition. The sword had not been important. The hand holding it had. Lucian's hand. Lucian's body. A body the gate commander considered empty property. Darian rose. The black interface returned. Original vessel remains available. Transfer now to restore full combat capability. Estimated level after reunification. 46. Level 46. Enough to approach Orlon's strength. Enough to fight the gate commander. Enough to save everyone on the bridge. All Darian needed to do was abandon Lucian's body. The offer had been designed perfectly. Accept power or accept responsibility for every death that followed. The same structure the blue system used. Different color. Same cruelty. No. The interface darkened. Current vessel will die. Then you should have chosen a stronger threat. The gate commander walked toward him. Behind it, the darkness spilling from the broken crystals widened. Hands pushed through the surface, reaching into the world. Royal soldiers hacked at them. Some blades passed through. Others were caught and pulled into the black opening. A spearman screamed as 3 hands seized his arm. His body began turning translucent. Orlon shouted from the road. "Break the crystals!" Officers repeated the order. Soldiers attacked the suppression arrays. The black stones resisted steel. Magic struck them and scattered. The devices had been designed to disrupt soul energy. Now they fed upon it. Tomos stood behind the Ashbourne guards near the western end of the bridge. He held no sword, only his field knife and a pot lid he had apparently chosen as a shield. Darian pointed toward the nearest array. "Tomos." The cook looked at him. "Salt." Tomos stared. Then his expression changed. The black crystals had been built using magical materials. Perhaps they had weaknesses similar to ingredients or alchemical compounds. Tomos activated ingredient assessment. His eyes gained a faint golden glow. He looked at the crystal, then at the equipment surrounding it. "Not salt," he shouted. "Vinegar." A royal officer turned toward him as though he had gone mad. Tomos pointed toward the supply wagons. "The cooling fluid. It is alkaline." No one moved. Tomos ran himself. He climbed into a wagon while arrows, magic, and black hands crossed the battlefield around him. Cedric followed. "What are we looking for?" "Blue glass bottles." They threw crates onto the road. Tomos found a bottle filled with clear liquid. He smelled it. "Not this one. You are identifying magical chemicals by smell? I have worked with spoiled milk." "That explains nothing." "It explains everything." The gate commander continued toward Darian. Alistair stepped between them. He held his sword in both hands. The creature stopped. It looked at Lucian's brother. "You are not part of this." Alistair lowered into a royal guard stance. "He is wearing my brother's body. You hate him for it." Alistair's expression did not change. "Yes." Darian felt the word. Alistair did not soften it, did not pretend. The gate commander tilted its head. "Then move." "No." "Why protect the thief?" Alistair's grip tightened. "Because he is trying to return what was stolen." The creature raised its sword. "He will fail. Then I will decide what comes after. Your decision means nothing." Alistair's eyes became cold. That is what everyone who harmed Lucian believed. The gate commander attacked. Alistair blocked. The blow drove him backward, boots carving lines through the stone. He turned the second strike, avoided the third. The fourth cut across his armor. Alistair was level 18, skilled, disciplined, entirely outmatched. He fought anyway, not to win, to create seconds. Darian searched for a weapon. His broken blade lay near his feet. Half a sword was still a sword. He grabbed it. The black interface appeared again. Inefficient choice detected. Darian ignored it. He joined Alistair. The gate commander attacked his brother's left side. Darian intercepted with the broken blade. The reduced length changed the angle. The creature expected a full sword. Its weapon slid past. Darian cut across the old body's hand. Black blood sprayed. The gate commander looked at the wound. Then at Darian. You use broken things. They are what your people leave behind. Alistair struck from the other side. His sword hit the creature's shoulder and bounced from the armor. The gate commander seized him by the throat. Darian drove the broken blade through the gap beneath its arm. The creature threw Alistair toward the railing. Darian twisted the weapon. Black armor split. The whispers within the wound became screams. A fist struck Darian's chest. He felt ribs break. His feet left the ground. He crashed near the center of the bridge. The old body moved to finish him. White fire cut across its path. Orlon returned. Blood covered one side of his armor. The wound beneath his ribs remained open, but pale light stitched the flesh together as he walked. Kingmaker ability detected. Borrowed vitality. Darian understood. Orlon's followers contributed more than experience. They contributed life. Somewhere on the battlefield, people connected to his class were weakening so he could continue fighting. Who is paying for that? Darian asked. Orlon did not look at him. People who swore to do so. Did they understand? Yes. The answer was immediate. Perhaps true. Perhaps another version of truth built from unequal information. The gate commander attacked. Orlon met it. Their blades struck once. Twice. The third impact created a ring of white and black energy that shattered the remaining bridge windows. Darian! Tomos shouted. The cook and Cedric had dragged a blue glass container from the royal supply wagon. Tomos smashed it against the base of the nearest crystal. Clear fluid spread across the metal frame. Nothing happened. Cedric looked at him. Excellent plan. Wait. For what? Cooking. The frame began smoking. Black energy flickered. Tomos held up his knife. Now. Cedric struck the crystal. This time, the sword cut through. The black stone split. Dark energy erupted from it, then collapsed inward. The portal weakened. Hands fell from the air like smoke. Royal soldiers saw. Break the cooling seals, an officer shouted. Use the blue fluid. The order spread. Soldiers overturned supply carts. Bottles shattered. The arrays began failing one by one. The gate commander looked toward them. For the first time, concern entered its stolen face. Orlon attacked the distraction. His burning sword cut through the creature's torn red cape and deep into its back. The gate commander roared. Darkness exploded outward. Orlon was thrown into the river. Darian saw him disappear beneath the swollen water. The creature turned toward Tomos. The cook froze. Black eyes focused on him. You. Tomos looked down at his pot lid. Me. You changed the path. I changed the soup. The gate commander raised one hand. The darkness behind it formed into a spear. Darian moved. Pain tore through his broken ribs. He could not reach Tomos in time. The silver oath bond returned. Weak. Unstable. But present. Burden shared available. The gate commander released the spear. Darian chose the threat itself. Not an offered condition. Not exhaustion or fear. He reached through the bond and pulled. Silver light connected him to Tomos. The black spear changed direction in midair. It struck Darian. Cold entered his chest. Not pain. Absence. His heartbeat stopped. The world became silent. Darian looked down. No wound marked his body. But something had passed through his soul. The bridge disappeared. He stood in darkness. No body. No sword. No system. A silver thread stretched from his chest into the distance. Tomos existed at the other end. Alive. The transfer had worked. Darian had taken the soul strike. Perhaps that had killed him. Footsteps approached. Lucian emerged from the darkness. Chains still wrapped around his throat and wrists. He looked exactly like the body Darian occupied. 17. Thin. Angry. You are terrible at keeping bodies alive, Lucian said. Darian almost laughed. You can speak. For now. Am I dead? Mostly. That is inconvenient. Lucian stared at him. You took the attack for the cook. Yes. Why? Because it would have killed him. It killed you. Apparently only mostly. Lucian's expression tightened. The humor disappeared. Every time you use the bond, it sees me. The gate commander? And the systems. Both. Lucian nodded. The blue one controls growth. The black one controls vessels. They fight over returned souls. Darian looked at the chains. Which controls those? Lucian raised his wrists. Both. The links alternated. Blue metal. Black metal. Silver light moved through several cracks. Darian's oath. What happens if I break them? You wake up. And you. I remain. Then that solves nothing. It keeps your friends alive. Not enough. Lucian's anger rose. You do not have time to rescue everyone. No. You keep saying that and then trying anyway. It is an irritating habit. You are in my body. Yes. Your corpse is killing people. Yes. Your friend brought an army. Yes. My father sold my soul. Darian did not answer. Lucian stepped closer. And you keep saying you will decide later. That is fair. No, it isn't. The darkness shifted. Images appeared around them. Memories. Lucian at the academy. Students laughing. Cashan's sword cutting his shoulder. Teachers looking away. His father's silence. Alistair's disappointment. Cedric barely noticing he existed. Edwin offering him burnt bread in the servants' corridor because neither wanted to eat alone. Darian watched the boy's life. Not the fragments forced into him when he awakened. The full weight of it. You thought I gave up, Lucian said. Darian remembered his first judgment. So you gave up. I was wrong. I did give up. No. Lucian's eyes flashed. I drank the poison. Yes. That is giving up. It is dying. What is the difference? Giving up is a choice made once. You were pushed toward it for years. That does not make me brave. No. Darian refused to turn Lucian into something simpler. You were frightened, isolated, manipulated, and you died. Lucian looked away. Darian continued. That does not mean you deserved to lose everything afterward. The chains tightened. Lucian winced. The black darkness around them moved. The gate commander had noticed Darian's presence. A distant voice echoed. Return. The black interface appeared in the air. Original vessel available. Soul transfer will restore life. Lucian stared at it. You should take the body. No. You are dead. Mostly. You could fight it. Perhaps. You could stop the gate. By giving it exactly what it wants. Lucian looked at him. What do you want? The question cut through every system message. Darian had not asked himself that since awakening. Survival. Revenge. Power. Lucian's rescue. Stopping the gate. All true. None complete. I want my choices to remain mine. Lucian laughed bitterly. You are wearing proof that they never were. Yes. Darian stepped toward the chains. That is why we start here. He gripped a black link around Lucian's wrist. Cold entered his hand. The gate commander's voice filled the darkness. Release the vessel. Darian pulled. The link did not move. Lucian watched him. You cannot break it. Then help. With what? Your anger. I have plenty. Use it. Lucian seized the chain. The darkness reacted. Black hands emerged around them. Darian and Lucian pulled together. The link cracked. A system warning appeared. Unauthorized soul cooperation detected. Blue chains tightened around Lucian's other arm. He cried out. Darian grabbed them. Pain struck his own mind. Memories vanished for fractions of a second. His mother's face. The name of his first horse. The sound of Orlon laughing before the war. The blue chain consumed information as punishment. Darian refused to release it. Pull. Lucian did. The blue metal cracked. Silver light flooded the brakes. Shared objective active. Free Lucian Ashbourne. Trust increased from 3 to 12. The chains around Lucian's wrists shattered. The one around his throat remained. It led upward into darkness, toward the two systems. Lucian touched it. If we break this, the body may reject you. Will it return to you? I do not know. Then we do not break it blindly. You finally learned caution. I have always appreciated caution in others. The darkness shook. The gate commander approached. Its silhouette grew beyond the memories. Darian felt the bridge. His body. A heartbeat attempting to restart. Tomas shouting. Alistair calling his name. Orlon somewhere in the river. You need to go, Lucian said. Can you help from here? I do not know how. You knew the battlefield signal. Your memories leak through the chains. Can you see my skills? Some. Can you reach the oath bond? Lucian closed his eyes. Silver light appeared around his freed hands. I can feel the cook. Tomas. He is angry. He usually is. I feel your brother. Alistair. Lucian's face changed. Fear. Hope. Pain. He thinks you are dead. Tell him I am not. How? Use the bond. He is not oath-bound. No. Darian considered the connection. The silver bond had formed beyond normal system authority. Perhaps it did not require formal oaths. Use me. Lucian opened his eyes. What? My soul is still connected to the body. Send the message through it. What message? Darian looked toward the approaching gate commander. Tell him to stab me. Lucian stared. You are completely insane. That has been medically confirmed. Darian's heart restarted. His body arched on the bridge. Air rushed into his lungs. Tomas knelt beside him. The cook's hands pressed against his chest. I did not agree to this oath, so you could die instead of me. Darian coughed. That was not specified. Tomas nearly punched him. Alistair stood over them, sword raised. The gate commander advanced. Alistair's face changed suddenly. He heard something. Not words. An impression through Darian's returning soul. His eyes moved toward Darian. You want me to do what? Stab me. Tomas looked between them. No. Darian struggled onto his back. The soul strike is still inside me. Black veins spread beneath his skin. The gate commander had anchored itself through the attack. Darian could feel it. A thread connecting his body to the darkness. The wound has no physical opening, Alistair said. Make one. Where? Darian touched the center of his chest. Here. Tomas grabbed Alistair's arm. You are not stabbing him because a voice in his head suggested it. It was Lucian, Alistair said. Tomas released him. You heard your brother? Not heard. The gate commander raised its weapon. Now would be useful, Darian said. Alistair reversed his grip. He hesitated. Darian saw every conflict on his face. The body belonged to Lucian. The soul inside it belonged to Darian. Stabbing one endangered both. Trust him, Darian said. Which one? Yes. Alistair drove the sword down. The blade entered Darian's chest. Pain exploded through him. Tomas shouted. The sword did not reach his heart. Alistair angled it carefully between ribs, creating a physical path through the soul wound. Black energy erupted along the blade. The gate commander stopped. The anchor connecting them became visible. A line of darkness stretched from Darian's chest to the creature. Alistair twisted the sword. The line tightened. Darian seized it with both hands. Silver light moved across his fingers. Lucian! From inside the bond, the boy pulled. The gate commander staggered. Its black eyes widened. You cannot command him. Darian gripped the line. I am not. Lucian pulled harder. The darkness began leaving Darian's body. The gate commander was dragged forward. Not physically. Spiritually. Its armor flickered. For one moment, Darian saw what existed beneath. Not a man. A mass of black chains wrapped around thousands of faces. The displaced souls. The entity used them as armor. Darian understood. The Gate Commander's power came from imprisoned vessels. Every stolen soul strengthened it. Orlon! Darian shouted. No answer. The river churned beneath the bridge. Then white light erupted from the water. Orlon rose into the air. His armor had shattered across one side. Blood covered his face. One arm hung uselessly. He landed behind the Gate Commander. The creature turned. Orlon placed a burning hand against its back. Kingmaker's claim. Golden symbols spread across the black armor. The Gate Commander roared. The royal army reacted. Every soldier connected to Orlon's class straightened. Faint threads of gold extended from them to their commander. Darian saw thousands of lives feeding the skill. Do not drain them, he shouted. Orlon clenched his teeth. I am not. Soldiers began shouting their names, one after another. Not because Orlon forced them, because officers had understood the ability. Dallin Rowe, Maris Holt, Evansur. Each name became a point of light. A voluntary contribution. Orlon's class did not simply take power. It allowed people to invest it in a chosen future. The golden symbols strengthened. The Gate Commander struggled between the two forces. Orlon pushing from behind. Darian and Lucian pulling through the soul anchor. The creature looked toward the royal army. You follow a liar. A soldier shouted back. He is our liar. The answer was absurd. It worked. More names rose. Royal soldiers who had spent years serving Orlon chose to lend him strength even after hearing the accusations. Their loyalty did not disappear because Darian revealed truth. Real loyalty was more complicated. That did not make it false. The Gate Commander swung backward. Its blade cut through Orlon's damaged arm. The limb fell to the bridge. Orlon's concentration broke. The golden symbols flickered. The creature turned toward him. Black hands emerged from its chest and seized Orlon's throat. You killed this body. Orlon struggled. Yes. Complete the act. The hands pulled him toward the wound. Orlon's soul began separating from his body. Darian saw it. A bright figure dragged from white armor. The Gate Commander intended to absorb him. Orlon reached toward Darian. Not for rescue. For instruction. As he had done years ago in command tents and battlefields. Darian hated the familiarity. He also understood the situation. Release the claim. Darian shouted. Orlon shook his head. It will escape. Release it. The creature pulled harder. Orlon's soul stretched. Darian felt the oath class stir. A mutual promise could create a bond. But Orlon would not swear loyalty. Darian would not ask. The objective could be narrower. Orlon Vey. The general's eyes found him. Do you willingly agree to fight beside me until this manifestation is driven from the bridge? Orlon almost laughed despite the hands around his throat. A temporary alliance? Yes. You trust me? No. Good. Silver light appeared around Darian's wrist. Orlon's remaining hand began to glow. The blue system returned. Mutual oath proposed. Darian Vale's vow. Fight beside Orlon Vey until the gate manifestation is removed from King's Crossing. Orlon Vey's vow. Fight beside Darian Vale until the gate manifestation is removed from King's Crossing. Neither party promises allegiance, forgiveness, obedience, or future cooperation. Darian nearly appreciated the system's precision. Accept, he shouted. Orlon smiled through the pain. I accept. The silver bond formed. The Gate Commander screamed. Protected will activated across Orlon. The black hands lost their grip on his soul. His spirit snapped back into his body. Darian used burden shared. Available conditions. Soul separation trauma. Major blood loss. Missing limb. Extreme exhaustion. He selected soul separation trauma. Then 20% of the exhaustion. The conditions struck him. His vision dimmed. His sense of identity blurred. For one terrifying second, he could not remember which face belonged to him. Lucian anchored him from inside. "You are Darian." The thought did not come from the system. It came from the boy. Darian steadied. Orlon's eyes cleared. He released Kingmaker's claim. The royal soldiers sagged as their contributed energy returned. The gate commander's armor reformed. But the oath bond between Darian and Orlon remained. They could sense each other's intentions. Not thoughts. Movement. Timing. The old partnership returned without trust. Perhaps it had never depended on trust during battle. Orlon stepped left. Darian knew to move right. The gate commander attacked Orlon. Darian struck the wounded knee. The creature blocked. Orlon cut across its exposed wrist. Black fingers fell. The gate commander turned toward Darian. Orlon attacked its back. They moved like commander and captain again. Except neither commanded the other. The mutual objective replaced rank. Remove the manifestation. Nothing more. Alistair pulled his sword from Darian's chest. Mara rushed onto the bridge from the shepherd's barn. She looked at the blood. Then at Alistair. "You stabbed him." "He requested it." "Of course he did." She pressed cloth against the wound. Darian pushed her hand away. "Not yet. You are leaking from several locations. The soul line remains open." Indeed, darkness still connected Darian to the gate commander. Lucian held the other end from inside. The connection weakened the creature. It also gave it access to them. "Can you close it?" Darian asked silently. Lucian answered through sensation. "Not while it is here. Then we remove it." The gate commander drove Orlon backward. Its strength had diminished, but it remained faster than both men. Black energy formed around the sword. Darian recognized the posture. His own ultimate battlefield skill. A technique he had developed during the final years of the war. The King's Fall. A strike designed to break command formations by attacking the leader and everyone connected to him. The creature aimed at Orlon. The royal general remained connected to thousands of soldiers through his Kingmaker class. If the attack landed, it might kill them all. "Break your links," Darian shouted. Orlon understood immediately. He severed every golden connection. The soldiers cried out as the bond vanished. The gate commander attacked. Without the network, the skill changed targets. The sword moved toward Darian. His oath bond connected him to Tomos, Gareth, Lucian, and temporarily Orlon. The King's Fall would travel through every one of them. Darian tried to release the bonds. The system refused. Mutual oath cannot be ended while objective remains active. The gate commander smiled. "You built the line yourself." The sword descended. Lucian moved inside the darkness. Darian felt him seize the chain around his throat, the final link connecting him to the body. "Do not," Darian whispered. Lucian pulled. The chain tightened around his own neck. Then he stepped between the attack and the oath network. Inside the soul space, the King's Fall struck him first. Lucian screamed. Darian's body collapsed. The silver bonds flickered but did not break. The attack failed to reach the others. The gate commander froze. "What did you do?" Darian could barely breathe. Lucian's presence had weakened. The boy had used himself as the point of impact. He had protected Darian's followers. Lucian. No answer. Only pain through the bond. Darian's anger became something beyond rage. Cold. Absolute. The gate commander had called Lucian a vessel. The system had called him corrupted. Everyone had treated his soul as a resource. Now the boy had made a choice none of them predicted. Darian rose. The blue interface flashed warnings. Current vessel synchronization failing. Hidden soul member critically damaged. Recommended action. Sever unauthorized bond. No. Sever bond to preserve primary user. No. The gate commander attacked again. Darian caught the blade between both palms. Black energy cut through his skin. He held it. The creature's stolen face came within inches of his. "You cannot save him." Darian looked into his own black eyes. I do not need your permission to try. He activated Break the Line. Not against physical restraints. Against the system's classification. Primary user. Hidden soul. Original vessel. False vessel. Every name designed to decide who mattered. Silver light exploded from his hands. The Oath class responded. Protected individual identified. Lucian Ashbourne. Existing vow invoked. Darian Vale will not decide Lucian's fate without learning the truth. Forced soul termination violates active vow. Oath retaliation activated. The system had never explained what happened when an outside force attempted to make Darian break a promise. Now he learned. Every point of experience earned under the Oathbound class became available at once. Not as levels. As resistance. Silver armor formed around Darian's soul. Lucian's chains cracked. The gate commander's sword began breaking. The creature pulled back. Darian held on. Orlon saw the opening. He retrieved his severed arm. Not to reattach it. He drove the limb into the black wound in the gate commander's back. Darian stared. Orlon smiled grimly. My class recognizes it as mine. Golden light erupted from the severed limb inside the creature. Kingmaker's claim activated from within. The gate commander convulsed. You planned that? Darian asked. No. You are learning. I had an irritating teacher. The golden symbols spread through the creature's internal chains. For the first time, Darian could see individual souls clearly. Thousands of faces. Some unconscious. Some screaming. Some fighting. Lucian reached toward them from within the bond. His presence was weak, but alive. Darian understood what had to happen. We cannot kill it, he said. Orlon's expression hardened. Yes, we can. The souls are inside it. They will be released. You do not know that. The manifestation must be destroyed. That is what the system wants. Orlon looked toward the creature. Then at the shattered suppression arrays. You have another plan? Separate the souls from the body. How? Darian looked at Pell. The Echo Captain remained behind the central support. Identity Echo. Memory theft. A class built around separating identity from form. Pell. The prisoner looked out. No. Darian had not asked yet. Pell knew anyway. You can copy identities, Darian said. I cannot copy that. You do not need to. What do you want? Find me inside it. Pell stared. The original soul signature. Yes. You are standing here. Part of me may still be inside the body. Orlon's face changed. That is impossible. Is it? Darian remembered the creature's voice. You left me buried. Perhaps the gate commander had formed from more than an empty corpse. A fragment. Instincts. Memories. The parts of Darian's soul marked by the altar. The system might have divided him before death. Pell shook his head. If I touch that thing, it will absorb me. Probably. Your encouragement remains poor. Darian looked at the broken chain attached to Pell's wrists. You followed Orlon because you believed I would become a monster. Pell said nothing. Look at it. The gate commander struggled between silver and gold energy. What do you believe now? Pell's face twisted. That we created one anyway. Then help us correct it. You cannot correct Black Hollow. No. Darian's grip tightened on the creature's crumbling sword. But we can stop repeating it. Pell closed his eyes. Then he stood. Samuel had taken the key to his chains when he left. Corvin held the replacement. The guard commander looked toward Darian. Darian nodded. Corvin unlocked Pell. Alistair raised his sword. If he runs. I know, Pell said. He walked onto the bridge. Each step became harder as he approached the gate commander. His class reacted to the mass of identities. Faces flickered across his skin. Edwin. Bren. Lord Ashbourne. Captain Hale. People he had copied. People whose memories lived inside him. The gate commander looked at him. Thief. Pell flinched. Darian answered. You would recognize one. Pell placed his hand against the creature's chest. His body arched. Black energy entered him. Faces shifted across his skin faster. Hundreds. Thousands. He screamed. Pell! Orlon shouted. The Echo Captain's eyes opened. They were no longer his. They changed constantly. I see them. Find Darian, Orlon ordered. Pell laughed through the agony. Still commanding. Orlon's jaw tightened. Please. The word shocked everyone. Pell looked at him. Then at Darian. He searched. The identities inside the gate commander flowed through him. Soldiers. Children. Returned souls. Displaced vessels. People from worlds Darian could not imagine. Pell's face became Lucian's. Then Darian's old face. Then something between them. I found a fragment, he gasped. Where? Darian asked. Inside the heart. The gate commander's chest wound opened. Darian saw a black crystal where a heart should have been. Within it stood a smaller version of himself. Not the commander. A boy. Perhaps 10 years old. Darian before the army. Before nobility. Before war taught him to turn every fear into discipline. The child pressed both hands against the crystal. Darian remembered the black altar. Touching it during the final campaign. A voice promising that no soldier would ever disobey him again. He had rejected the promise. Or believed he had. The altar had taken the part of him that wanted it. The desire for perfect control. The hatred of uncertainty. The fear that every person he loved would leave if not held tightly enough. That fragment had remained in his body after death. The gate system had built its commander around it. This is mine, Darian whispered. Orlon saw the child. Understanding crossed his face. The mark split your soul. Yes. I killed you before it completed, and left the marked fragment behind. Orlon looked at the creature. For 16 years, he had believed the rising body was an invader. It was partly Darian. The worst possibility he carried. Given power without restraint. The child inside the crystal looked at him. You left me. Darian felt the accusation. Not from the gate commander. From himself. Every part he had buried to become the perfect commander. Fear. Need. Anger. The desire to be obeyed. He had not overcome them. He had refused to acknowledge they existed. The altar found what he denied. The gate commander pulled against the silver bonds. You made me. Yes, Darian said. Orlon looked toward him. The answer weakened the creature more than denial had. You are not me, Darian continued. But you came from me. The child inside the crystal pressed closer. Take me back. The black interface returned. Soul reunification available. This time, the offer meant more than transferring into the old body. It meant accepting the fragment, taking the desire for control back into himself, risking corruption. Leaving it inside the gate commander guaranteed the creature remained connected to him. Orlon understood. Do not. Darian looked at him. You told me to take responsibility. Not by absorbing that. What happens if we destroy it? Weaken the gate commander. And the fragment? Gone. A part of Darian erased because it was dangerous. The system approved. Recommended action. Destroy corrupted soul fragment. The black interface objected. Reclaim original soul component. Blue said destroy. Black said reclaim. Both demanded an immediate choice. Lucian's faint voice entered Darian's mind. Ask it. Darian looked toward the child inside the crystal. Not the systems. The fragment. What do you want? The boy stared. No one had asked. Not the altar. Not the gate. Not Darian. I want them to stop leaving. Darian remembered Black Hollow. The turned backs. The wound deeper than the sword. You cannot prevent that. The child began crying. Then command them. No. They will betray us. Some will. They will die. Yes. We will fail. Yes. The child pressed his fists against the crystal. Then what is the point? Darian looked around the bridge. Tomas with his cooking knife. Alistair protecting a stranger in his brother's body. Cedric standing despite his wounded shoulder. Corvin holding the Ashbourne banner. Royal soldiers who had contributed their strength to Orlon willingly. Pell risking absorption to expose the truth. Orlon, the betrayer, fighting beside him because the threat required it. None could be controlled completely. That was the point. To choose anyway. The child looked at him. Darian extended one hand toward the crystal. I will take you back. Orlon stepped forward. Darian, I will not give you command. The child's face twisted with fear. I will give you a place. The systems reacted. Warning. Reintegrating corrupted fragment may permanently alter personality. Warning. Rejection of original vessel reduces compatibility. Warning. User choice outside predicted parameters. Darian almost smiled. Good. He touched the crystal. The child reached back. The gate commander screamed. Black energy surged through Darian. Memories returned. Not events. Feelings. Every time he had feared losing control and called it caution. Every time he had wanted obedience and called it discipline. Every time he had protected someone partly because he needed them to remain loyal. The fragment entered him. Pain split his soul. Lucian grabbed him from inside. The boy anchored the body. Orlon's temporary oath anchored the battlefield. Tomas's bond anchored the people behind him. Gareth's completed promise anchored the road north. Darian did not become pure. He became complete enough to understand what impurity he carried. The black crystal shattered. The gate commander's armor collapsed. Thousands of souls poured from its body as silver-black light. The portal behind it expanded. Not closing. Opening. Without the creature containing them, the displaced souls rushed toward the gate. Lucian shouted through the bond. They are being pulled back. Darian looked at Orlon. Can your class hold them? Not thousands. Hold the leaders. What leaders? The conscious ones. Pell remained connected to the identities. He pointed through the storm. There. 12 strong signatures. Orlon raised his remaining hand. Golden threads extended toward the souls Pell identified. 1, 3, 7, 12. The souls resisted. Orlon's class tried to assign them roles. Darian stopped him. Ask. Orlon stared. We do not have time. Ask. The portal widened. Black hands reached through. Orlon looked toward the 12 souls. His amplified voice crossed the spiritual storm. I can anchor you to this world temporarily. The bond will connect you to my class. Do you consent? For one heartbeat, nothing happened. Then 12 golden lights answered. Orlon pulled. The souls gathered around him. Not absorbed. Held. The rest flowed toward the gate. Darian reached through the silver bond. Lucian, can you guide them? Where? Beneath the crypt. That prison cannot hold thousands. Not hold. Shelter. It belongs to the gate. Your mother prepared it. Lucian understood. Seraphine's hidden chamber existed outside full system control, a place concealed by burial cloth and old oaths. Lucian extended the silver bond from inside. Darian felt it stretch beneath the earth, toward the estate, toward the crypt. A path opened. Faint. Narrow. The displaced souls turned. Not all. Hundreds entered the silver route. Others remained trapped in the gate's pull. Darian could not save every one. The truth hurt. He did not allow it to stop him from saving those he could. Pell, identify more conscious souls. The Echo Captain screamed names. Some from memories. Some identities he recognized through his class. Orlon offered bonds. Silver and gold paths formed. Royal soldiers, Ashbourne guards, and civilians near the shepherd's barn began hearing voices. Not commands. Requests. May I anchor to you? People looked around in confusion. Evelyn Thorne stood beneath guard at the western end of the bridge. Her tattooed eyes glowed. They need hosts. Fear spread. Darian shouted. Not vessels. Anchors. Evelyn understood the difference. Temporary connections, she called. Memories, dreams, emotions. No possession if consent is clear. The system offered no confirmation. No one could guarantee safety. A royal soldier raised his hand. I consent. A silver soul entered the space beside him. Not his body. His shadow. Another soldier agreed. Then an Ashbourne guard. Mara, Cedric, Corvin. Each accepted one displaced soul as an external anchor. Tomas looked at the storm. Does it matter which one? Pell shouted a name. Edwin Hale. A small silver light tumbled through the darkness. Tomas dropped his pot lid. Edwin. The light moved toward him. A frightened voice emerged. Too much salt. Tomas began crying. He extended both hands. Yes. Edwin's soul entered his shadow. The cook's outline doubled for a moment. A thin boy stood beside him. Then faded. Tomas remained standing. Alive. Alone in body. Not alone in shadow. The gate commander's physical form began collapsing. Its black armor fell empty to the bridge. Darian's old face remained last. The eyes became normal. Brown. His own. The corpse looked at him. No entity. No command. Only an abandoned body reaching the end of unnatural life. Darian caught it before it fell. The body was heavier than he remembered. Older in the wrong ways. Black metal held the neck together. The sword wound remained open through the chest. He lowered it to the bridge. Orlon stood nearby, missing an arm and bleeding heavily. For a moment, neither spoke. Darian looked at his former face. I thought I would want it back. Do you? No. The answer surprised him. The body belonged to his history, not his future. The portal continued growing. The gate commander had only been the manifestation. Something beyond still pushed through. A black shape larger than the bridge moved behind the darkness. The systems returned together. Blue on one side of Darian's vision. Black on the other. Manifestation destabilized. Close breach immediately. Required sacrifice. Original vessel. Both systems displayed the same instruction. Darian looked down at his corpse. Orlon understood. The body remains connected to the gate. We place it inside the breach. It will close the anchor. And what happens to the fragment I reclaimed? If the separation is complete, nothing. If not. Orlon did not answer. Darian looked toward Lucian's body. The heart still beat. The silver bond remained. He could feel the reclaimed fragment inside himself. Afraid. Angry. Present. The corpse on the bridge felt empty. Completely. Do it, Darian said. Orlon knelt beside the body. Together, they lifted it. The portal pulled. Black wind tore across the bridge. Soldiers anchored displaced souls while retreating. Tomas held onto the railing. Alistair and Cedric helped move the corpse. Pell remained connected long enough to guide the final conscious souls. His skin had begun cracking from the strain. Darian shouted toward him. Release the ability. There are more. You will die. So did Edwin. That does not require you to follow him. Pell's eyes found Tomas. The cook's doubled shadow remained. Edwin's presence. Pell released memory theft. The flood of identities left him. He collapsed. Corvin dragged him away. Darian, Orlon, Alistair, and Cedric carried the old body toward the breach. Black hands reached for it. The corpse opened its eyes one final time. Not the gate commander. The remaining memories stored in flesh. Its mouth moved. Darian leaned closer. Did we win? The question came in his own voice. From the commander he had been. Darian looked at the collapsing bridge. At Orlon. At the army. At the souls struggling for shelter. No. He pushed the corpse into the darkness. We survived the next decision. The gate seized the body. The portal folded inward. Black hands closed around the corpse. For one moment, Darian saw it standing on the other side. alone before an endless army of shadows. Then the breach collapsed. Silence struck the valley. The remaining suppression crystals shattered. Darkness vanished. The broken bridge remained. Bodies remained. Wounded soldiers remained. The consequences did not disappear with the threat. Darian fell to his knees. The temporary oath with Orlon flashed. Shared objective completed. Remove gate manifestation from King's Crossing. Mutual oath fulfilled. The silver bond dissolved. For an instant, Darian felt Orlon completely. Exhaustion. Grief. Certainty cracked by doubt. And beneath all of it, relief that Darian still existed. Then the connection ended. Orlon staggered. Without the oath and battle pressure, his missing arm and wounds overwhelmed him. Mara ran toward him. Royal guards blocked her. "He is your general," she shouted. "Move." They did. She began treating Orlon. Darian remained kneeling. The blue system opened. Major threat repelled. Original vessel sacrificed. Unauthorized soul fragment integrated. System recalibration required. User classification changed. The words flickered. Darian Vale. Body. Lucian Ashbourne. The second line changed. Body. Shared vessel. Darian's chest tightened. Lucian remained inside. Alive. Damaged. But recognized. A silver status panel appeared. Lucian Ashbourne. Class. Displaced soul. Condition. Critical but stable. Trust increased from 12 out of 100 to 27 out of 100. New ability unlocked. Shared voice. A thought entered Darian's mind. Weak. I still think you are terrible at this. Darian closed his eyes. So do I. Alistair heard him. Lucian. Darian nodded. His brother lowered himself beside him. Can he hear me? Darian waited. Lucian's response came with hesitation. Yes. He says yes. Alistair's face broke. The disciplined royal knight pressed one hand over his mouth. For several seconds he could not speak. Then he said, I am sorry. Lucian's pain moved through the bond. Not acceptance. Not rejection. Too much history for either. Darian relayed the answer honestly. He does not know what to say. Alistair nodded. That is more than I deserve. Orlon's officers gathered around their general. The army remained scattered across the valley. Some soldiers tended displaced souls anchored to their shadows. Others stared at the place where the gate had closed. No order could make what they had witnessed ordinary. Lord General Orelvay pushed Mara away and forced himself to stand. His missing arm had been bound. His white armor was nearly black with blood. He walked toward Darian. Royal soldiers followed. Ashbourne guards closed around Darian. Two sides formed again. The common enemy had vanished. The original conflict remained. Tomos stepped between them. He held no weapon now. Only Edwin's doubled shadow. Before anyone starts another battle, he said, I have stew. No one responded. Tomos looked offended. It has been a difficult morning. Orlon stopped 10 feet from Darian. The royal summons remains. Alistair rose. You cannot be serious. I command an army under the king's authority. An army that just witnessed your secret soul weapons open a gate. Orlon looked toward the destroyed arrays. Yes. Darian stood slowly. What will you tell them? The truth. The answer surprised everyone. Pell laughed weakly from where Corvin held him. You do not know how. Orlon looked at him. No. Then at Darian. But I can learn. Darian studied his former captain. Start with the king. I intend to. And the 43 displaced souls. Yes. And your role in my death. Orlon's officers shifted. The general did not look away. Yes. Mar's accusation returned. The kingdom would collapse. Perhaps it would. Orlon had reached the point where secrecy created greater danger than revelation. Darian knew how difficult that admission could be. It did not create forgiveness. What happens to House Ashbourne? Darian asked. The treason charges are suspended pending investigation. Suspended. I cannot overturn royal charges on a bridge. You created the evidence. Volmir created most of it. Under your system. Orlon accepted the correction. Yes. Darian looked toward Pell, Bren, Nessa, and Evelyn. Prisoners remain in Ashbourne custody. No. Then we have a problem. They possess information relevant to threats against the Crown. They also possess information relevant to Orlon Vey. The general's expression hardened. Darian continued. You do not control the investigation into yourself. Royal officers looked toward Orlon. A reasonable boundary. A dangerous one for a man accustomed to managing every outcome. Orlon looked at his remaining hand. Then at the officers behind him. General Harker. A broad woman in heavy armor stepped forward. Yes, my lord. You assume temporary command of the royal force. Shock moved through the soldiers. Harker stared. On what grounds? I am a material witness and possible conspirator in the charges under investigation. Pell laughed again. This time, there was no humor. You truly have changed. Orlon ignored him. He removed the royal lion insignia from his damaged armor. Then the general's command ring. He handed both to Harker. Place me under guarded medical supervision. Harker did not take them immediately. My lord. That is an order. Darian felt the old pattern. Orlon using authority to force accountability. Even surrender became a command. Harker took the insignia. Royal soldiers surrounded Orlon. Not roughly. Not comfortably. Mara remained beside him. You are still my patient, she said. Orlon looked at the blood on her hands. You treated both sides. I treated people who were bleeding. An inconvenient philosophy. I learned it today. Darian looked toward General Harker. She now commanded 2,000 confused soldiers, a damaged bridge, imprisoned souls, and a crisis capable of destroying the kingdom. She appeared to understand how terrible the promotion was. What do you intend? Darian asked. Harker studied him. Establish a perimeter. Treat the wounded. Send reports to the king through 3 separate messengers. 3. One may disappear. Darian respected the answer. And us. You return to Ashbourne Estate under royal observation. Not custody? Harker looked toward the doubled shadows surrounding several soldiers. I am not certain anyone here understands enough to decide who should be arrested. Reasonable. Do not mistake uncertainty for trust. I would think less of you if I did. Alistair almost smiled at the repeated phrase. Harker continued. The army will camp south of the river. No royal soldier enters the estate without permission while the investigation begins. Corvin lowered his sword. That is acceptable. Darian looked north. The oath with Gareth had completed, but the connection remained faint. The evacuation continued. Send riders to recall Mars cavalry, Harker ordered. Darian stopped her. Not north. She looked at him. Why? Gareth's column remains on that road. Send messengers southeast. Mar withdrew toward the main force. Harker's face tightened. He disobeyed the planned pursuit. He chose not to continue it. Why? Darian looked toward Orlon. Ask him when he returns. Orlon closed his eyes. Mar's loyalty had cracked, not broken. That would become another consequence. The system displayed a final series of messages. Major objective completed. Establish a new history. Historical reenactment rejected. Gate manifestation repelled without sacrificing oath-bound subordinates. Original soul fragment recovered. Lucian Ashbourne remains intact. Experience reward cannot be calculated under current system classification. The message flickered. Manual review initiated. Darian disliked the phrase. A silver panel appeared over it. Oath-bound class milestone reached. Title unlocked. The commander who refused the ending. Effect unknown. Physical adaptation completed. 100%. Stored experience available. Safe advancement limit increased to level 35. Darian was level 26. Enough stored experience waited to raise him several levels. He did not accept it. Not yet. The battle had shown what happened when power advanced faster than understanding. A new black message appeared beneath the others. Original vessel destroyed. Gate commander designation vacant. Darian stared. Vacant. Not eliminated. A role. A position waiting for someone else. Then blue text appeared. Candidate evaluation initiated. The systems were already searching. Perhaps for Darian. Perhaps Orlon. Perhaps Lucian. Perhaps someone among the 12 souls Orlon had anchored. Darian dismissed every interface. He looked toward the people on the bridge. The living. The wounded. The dead. Those carrying other souls in their shadows. There would be time for levels later. Now there were consequences. Tomos, Darian said. The cook looked at him. How much stew? For 2 armies? 1 army and 38 difficult people. Tomos considered. If the royal quartermasters surrender their supplies, I can feed everyone by evening. General Harker raised an eyebrow. Surrender. Temporarily transfer. That is not what you said. I am grieving. Edwin's shadow shifted beside him. Tomos looked down. A faint smile touched his face. He says the stew needs salt. Darian felt Lucian react inside the bond. For the first time, the boy's emotion was not fear or anger. It was amusement. Small. Fragile. Alive. Darian looked toward the Ashbourne estate. Seraphine's crypt now sheltered hundreds of displaced souls. The first key fragments remained beneath the house. Duke Volmir controlled part of the royal court. Ma remained somewhere on the southern road. The king would soon learn that his greatest general had manipulated the kingdom for 16 years. The first gate remained active. And somewhere beyond it, something had already noticed the commander's position was empty. The immediate battle had ended. The larger one had finally become visible. Orlon stopped as the royal guards began escorting him away. Darian. Darian turned. The former captain looked older without his insignia. More human. More dangerous in a different way. When the gate opened, I saw beyond it. What did you see? An army. We saw the souls. Not them. Orlon's face became grim. Behind them. Darian waited. Commanders, Orlon said. Hundreds of them. Each wearing a different world's armor. The black system had called the role vacant. It had never said there was only one gate commander. What were they doing? Darian asked. Waiting. For the gate to open? Orlon shook his head. For someone to unite them. A cold pressure entered Darian's chest. Not from the system. From the fragment he had reclaimed. The buried desire for perfect control recognized the temptation before he did. An army of commanders. Worlds of experience. Power beyond kingdoms. All waiting for one leader. Lucian felt it too. His voice entered Darian's mind. Do not even think about it. Darian watched Orlon being led toward the royal medical tents. I wasn't. Lucian's answer came immediately. Liar. Darian almost smiled. Then the sky above the Ashbourne estate turned black. Not dark with clouds. Black like the surface of the gate. A pillar of silver light rose from beneath the family crypt. Hundreds of displaced souls had reached Seraphine's hidden chamber, and something inside the estate had begun calling them by name. The system returned. Emergency warning. Ashbourne Soul Sanctuary compromised. Unknown individual has activated the second key fragment. Destination path selected. Darian looked toward Lord Ashbourne's distant home. The first fragment activated the path. The second determined the destination. Someone inside the estate had opened a route. General Harker followed his gaze. What is happening? Darian drew the broken remains of his sword. The blade was barely longer than a dagger. It would have to do. Someone used the second key. Who? Darian thought of everyone left behind. Lord Ashbourne under guard. Lady Helena. Nessa. Bren. The servants who had chosen to remain. The guards whose identities they believed they had verified. Then he remembered the person who knew the crypt better than anyone. The woman whose burial cloth could hide artifacts from the system. Seraphine Ashbourne. Lucian's mother. Her coffin had been empty. Darian looked at Alistair. Your mother may not be dead. His brother's face went white. The silver pillar widened. A woman's voice crossed the valley. Gentle. Familiar to Lucian. The voice that had comforted him during childhood fevers. The voice he had believed lost 8 years ago. Lucian, Seraphine called. The soul bond inside Darian surged toward the estate. Lucian cried out. The woman's voice continued. Come home. Darian felt Lucian being pulled from the shared vessel. Not by the system. Not by the gate commander. By his mother. And beneath the warmth of her voice, something else whispered. Something old. Something that had been waiting inside the Ashbourne bloodline for 300 years. Bring me the commander.